All right. So this is the first part of the first week of the lab review. And the first thing that I wanted to do was kind of hit some highlights on the syllabus/schedule. And in case you don't know, I am your instructor, and my name is Dr. Jennifer Copeland. Well, I'm your instructor if you're in my section. If you're not in my section, then I'm not your instructor. But you can look at your schedule and see if I'm your instructor or not. Okay, so the first thing we have is the schedule. And the schedule is pretty self-explanatory. We've got the week, and so we're on week 2 right now, and we're working on the endocrine system, and then this is these pages in the lab manual, and then we don't have any kind of assessment due this week. Starting next week, we're going to have assessments due, and you're going to have 2 different quizzes due pretty much each week. You're going to have a lab quiz, which is going to be based on the material that we go over, like that I'm going to be reviewing with you. And then you're going to have a visible body quiz, which is going to be over the material that you come across in visible body. So the quizzes are going to be on Wednesdays. They're going to open at midnight, and they're going to be open all the way until 11:59 p.m. So make sure that you remember to take the quizzes on Wednesday. Now, the visible body quiz is just open. So you have unlimited tries and all that kind of good stuff. I'll go over this in a little bit more detail down here. All right, let's see. You can see that you have your midterm is going to be the week of March. Well, your midterm is on March the 10th. And the midterm is going to cover everything from endocrine to immunity. And then we're going to have spring break. So the midterm is before spring break, which is awesome. You do not have to study during spring break. Hopefully you like that. I mean, I don't know, maybe you like studying during spring break, but whatever. Okay, so we then have the final exam. The final exam is going to cover respiratory through heredity. It is not cumulative, so it's only going to cover the material that we go over after spring break, which is really, really nice. So we have, by the way, they're roofing a house literally right across the street. So if you hear that, I apologize. We have our course description. This is the lab that's going to go with the lecture that you're taking. And you have either I'm your instructor for lecture or Dr. O'Connell is your instructor for lecture. We have some course objectives. You can read through that. And then we have our required materials. And our required materials is this lab book here, the Anatomy and Physiology Student Study Guide in Atlas, 2nd edition by Gargan, Hamilton, and Lindsay. And then we also have the visible body courseware. Now, at the point where I'm recording this, you guys should have access to visible body at this point. I have sent out codes to, well, if you're watching this, you have Dr. O'Connell, I'm sure, as your lecture instructor, but he should have sent out codes. If you have not received that and you are still looking for that, you can email either myself or Dr. O'Connell, and we'll take care of that for you. All right, let's see. What else do we have here? We have some optional books. Units of instruction, so just see the lab schedule for that. Lab safety, yeah, don't trip. Missing class, so your attendance is going to be based on the completion of weekly quizzes and or participation in virtual office hours or review sessions. So if you want to be counted present, you either need to complete a quiz or exam, or you need to participate in the virtual office hours or the review session. And make sure that you're enrolled in both lecture and lab during the same semester on the same campus. And then we have course grading. So this is a little, it's not like complicated, but it's not, I don't know, it's not complicated, but it's not easy either. So we have the midterm and the final are going to be worth 65% of your grade, which means that the midterm is worth approximately 32.5% of your grade. The final, same thing. We have the lab quizzes are going to be worth 20% of your grade. Now the lab quizzes, again, these are the ones that are going to be over the material that I'm going to be going over with you. Okay. The virtual body, visible body, I should say visible body quizzes are worth 10% of the grade. And then later on this semester, I'm gonna let you know what the group project is gonna be, and that's gonna be worth 5% of your grade. All this adds up to 100% of your grade. I guess really it's not that complicated. Maybe I made it a little bit more complicated than I should have in my head. Anyway, the lab grade accounts for 30% of your total course grade, and the lecture accounts for accounts for 70% of your grade. All right, lab quizzes, again, based on the material that you're learning from the online material. And this is going to be the stuff that I'm going over with you, the stuff that you're watching, the videos that Dr. O'Connell has done, he's posted for you. So that's what the lab quizzes are going to cover. They are not going to cover stuff from visible body. Visible body quizzes are going to cover stuff from visible body. So these quizzes are going to be 10 questions. There are going to be 10 of them. The lowest 2 are going to be dropped. Of the 10 questions, they're going to be multiple choice, true, false, multiple answers. They're going to go over models, dissections, histology. Again, all the stuff that we're going to go over that I'm going to review with you. And these are going to be the quizzes that are only going to be available for 24 hours on Wednesday. Then we have the lab exam. They are going to be 100 questions. There's 2 of them. And they are going to come from the material, again, that you're going over online. The models, histology, any kind of previous lab exercise. It's going to be given through Blackboard. You're going to have to use Proctorio. You're going to have to use Proctorio to take your quizzes as well. But in order to use Proctorio, you're going to have to use Google Chrome. You're going to get 1 minute per question. So for a 100-minute test, that means you're going to get, 100 question test, you're going to get 100 minutes. And you're going to get it all at once, which is nice, instead of that one question at a time where there's no backtracking and all that kind of stuff. So it's really nice that you're going to get all of them at once, all the questions at once. We have the visible body quizzes. This is going to be based on the material that you are learning through visible body and will not include material from Blackboard. Okay. 10 questions, 10 quizzes, the lowest 2 are going to be dropped. And this is going to be either 5 or 10 multiple choice dissection questions from the previous week. They're untimed, so you get an unlimited amount of time and an unlimited number of attempts. I cannot speak. You need to get at least a 60% in order for your grade to be entered into the grade book. So if you take the first quiz, which is on the endocrine system, and you're struggling with maneuvering the body and manipulating the thing, and you're clicking on the wrong stuff, and you get like a 40, you're going to have to take it again because a 40 will not be entered into the grade book. Again, there's a group project. This is going to occur during the second half of the semester, and I'll give you more information once I receive it. Policy on academic misconduct, don't do it. Okay, don't cheat. Anyone caught cheating or discussing lab exams during the lab day or whatever will receive a failing grade for the course, and then every other additional permissible action within the guidelines of TCCD will also be taken. So again, don't do it. Special notes, there's an SLC which is available. It's not really the same, I don't think online, but you guys certainly, I would suggest checking it out. Let's see, we have some dates, some requirements. Yeah, so you're going to need certain things, right? You're going to need your lab book. You're going to need a computer of some sort in order to take your exams and your quizzes. You're going to need stable internet. It needs to be equipped with the webcam and a microphone, and you need to have a PDF viewer, PowerPoint, Java, Microsoft Word, or equivalent. And you're going to have to use Chrome as your browser. And that's just a mandatory thing. That's because Proctorio works with Chrome, and you have to use Proctorio in order to take your exams. there's a little bit more information about Proctorio down here. And then the rest of this you guys can go over kind of on your own. So I'm going to stop. And the next video is going to be all over the actual lab material.